So these are the next lines for the assessment on Thursday. Perhaps you may ask what the fates of Priam were. And by the way, I did look it up, and this is a potential subjunctive, and I'll tell you something cool about this next class. Just remember to ask me. Okay. When he saw the destruction of the captured city and the thresholds torn off of the households and the enemy in the middle of the inner places, the old man puts on the arms, weapons for a long time unused, on his trembling shoulders, and his shoulders trembling with old age, in vain, and he is girded, or he girds the useless iron, and he is driven, about to die, into the dense enemies. In the middle of the palaces, and under the under the naked axle of the sky, there was a huge altar, and next to a laurel, very old, lying down at the altars, and encircling the household gods in shade. Here, Hecuba and her daughters in vain were around the altars, flying just like doves from a black storm, crowded and encircling the images of the gods. They were sitting crowded and encircling the images of the gods. As she saw, Priam himself, however, with